The opinions expressed on this show are solely those of the participants and do not reflect the opinion or policy of CP24. CP24 does not endorse or represent any product featured or discussed on this program.
Hi there, welcome to Animal Housecalls on CP24 and on Animal Planet. What a great show we have for you tonight. How about this idea? Boot camp for you and your dog. Everybody benefits. Details on a black cat and kitten adopt-a-thon. I see a little white there on the paws. We will also get an update. It's post-surgery update on Murphy. You're going to be absolutely amazed at what has happened to her. Recently rescued and dealt with by two gracious and compassionate Toronto vets. Dr. Kristen Nelson and Dr. Carl Porter, they'll be joining us live to take your calls and answer your emails. First up, Sabrina Persaud, Rabbit Rescue. Do we say Inc. as well?
You can.
Why not? But Rabbit Rescue, I mean, that says it all right there.
Yes.
Who have you got with you?
I've got Abby and Emily right here. They're bonded sisters in foster care since about February.
What was their story? How did they end up in foster care?
Actually, they were unfortunately abandoned in a neighborhood in Toronto, and we got a call from a neighbor who had been feeding them. So we sent out a little team of volunteers, and we rescued these guys, and they've been with us since February.
So they were brought inside by this nice person to be fed, but were they dumped outside?
Yes, they were dumped outside.
How had they lived, do you think, before that? Inside?
Likely in someone's home. Likely they could have been a gift, and they got bigger, they didn't want them anymore, and oftentimes people see rabbits outdoors and they think, oh, these guys can live out there as well.
Tell us what really is the case. These two rabbits, having been domesticated, living indoors, you put them outside, they don't know how to feed themselves.
They don't.
They don't know how to stay warm.
Yeah, and if you leave them, if someone were to dump them in a parking lot, oftentimes they adopt that parking lot as their home, which is a pretty dangerous space to live. So they don't have the same instincts that a cottontail would, a wild rabbit would. So they are more susceptible to weather, to prey, coyotes, raccoons, cats, dogs.
Cars, tires, yeah. So the message here, obviously, have a discussion with your family or really look inside your heart before you adopt a rabbit or two. But if there is an issue and you change your mind, I mean, you know, sometimes circumstances change. What is the best way to deal with that? Don't dump them.
Yes, definitely. Do not dump them. You can go to your local shelter or you can contact Rabbit Rescue. There are always avenues and ways to rehome your rabbit if you're not able to take care of it anymore.
And what do you mean by bonded pair?
Well, these two, they live together. They are sisters.
They look identical.
Yes, yeah. A lot of people have a hard time telling them apart.
How do you tell them apart? They're living with you right now.
Yes,
You're fostering them.
Yeah. One of them, this is Abby right here, and she's a lighter gray. She's a little bit longer, slender in her face. This is Emily. She's a little bit rounder, she's darker, and personality-wise, they're very different.
How do they interact with each other?
They're very loving, very sweet. They're always constantly grooming each other, lying next to each other. They're a very loving pair.
Most people, and I'm included, don't know how to create a home and a safe space for their rabbits inside the home. Mm-hmm. How do you do that? What is it that has to be put together in order to give them what they need and also the protection that they need?
So right now these guys are housed, they have a three-story condo that I built from storage cubes, and they live inside an exercise pen. So they're pretty safe there, but if you were to house your rabbit free-ranged, you'd need to protect your cords, maybe protect your furniture, but it can be done. Yeah, and always providing fresh hay 24/7 would be a good, safe environment for them.
Is it true that they can use litter boxes? They can be trained to use. Yes, that sounds like relief on your part. How does that happen? What is it that they need in that litter box for them to understand that that's a good place to go?
It's really easy to litter train rabbits. They naturally want to poop where they eat. So if you just put their hay right inside their litter box, they're just going to go right there.
Incredible. And I've always wondered about their toenails and about their teeth. Do you have to clip their teeth?
Some rabbits have to have monthly trimmings. It just depends on the bunny. Their teeth naturally don't get gnawed down. Most rabbits are great hay eaters, and so they'll naturally get gnawed down. But it just depends on the rabbit. But you can have monthly trimmings.
Big fundraiser coming up, and it is on Sunday at the Bob Rumball Center for the Deaf.
Yes.
And what's going to happen there?
We're going to have a lot of stuff going on, actually. We have an animal communicator. We have the bunny spa, where you can bring your bunny and get their fur groomed or their nails clipped. We're going to have a glamour shot, so you can get some really fantastic photos done. Tons and tons of vendors, seminars, presentations for people who are looking to adopt and don't know how to take care of a rabbit. We'll also have Abby and Emily there, so you can meet them in person.
I have the feeling they'll be adopted after this show.
I hope so.
Good luck. I hope it goes well, and it sounds like rain or shine because it's indoors, and that's a great location.
Indeed.
Thank you, and I hope that they have a long and happy life together, and you too.
Thank you.
We'll take a break on Animal House Calls. Coming up next, boot camp for you and your dog.